We all have different reasons for playing Genshin, but for most of us the story is one of the biggest draws. See, story can mean a lot of different things to other people. Some like the Archon quest and only keep up with the main plot, while others enjoy character story quests or digging into the lore through third quests. But you see, the thing uniting them all is quest. The whole of Genshin's story and lore is built on them. So while they're so poorly designed, let's take a detailed look. I won't bore you with the usual complaints like no skip button or they are too long, because you've heard them a bunch of times. I want to break down Genshin storytelling into a few areas and work out why they don't work as well as they could. What first comes to mind when you think about Genshin Quest is usually reading or listening to the lines. And that's okay, I don't have any issues with that. The design is very clear. Let's approach the storytelling with a very standard, visual novel style delivery, with talking head popping up, delivering their lines, and moving the story forward with dialogue, set pieces, and occasional cutscenes. That's a really solid foundation, and it isn't at fault if you don't like it. It obviously won't click for everyone, but it has a clear type of play in mind. Someone willing to sit down for an hour or two, click through the lines, and soak in the story that way. But there comes the gameplay part, which, in my opinion, makes this whole of design philosophy completely fall apart. Because now, instead of just smoothly following the dialogue from scene to scene, you're asked to complete very trivial and time-wasting steps, like walk 200 meters to the next marker. It often doesn't serve any purpose other than just padding out the playtime. You can argue, obviously, that it's meant to make the player more immersed in the world and guide their exploration, which makes sense. But the rest of the dialogue system isn't designed to accommodate that. It's like if you had a straightforward movie that suddenly asks you to go through a clunky minigame of walking through the scene with your pilot buttons. Sure, it's a cool novelty and lets you explore a bit of the world at your own pace, but your curiosity quickly dries up, especially in scenes of high tempo and tension when you can't wait for the next line to drop, but then, no. Stop. Wait, we have to see this beautiful flower that you probably passed at least twice already. See? It's meaningless. And the exploration rarely contributes anything to the story. Sure, there are puzzle segments or times when you have to look around for clues, and that's okay, but most of the time it doesn't add anything. Also, fighting. I see what they were trying to do. That is, integrate some of the native system of this game into the questing system to make it more coherent. But once again, it just doesn't fit very well. The slow, line-by-line dialogue makes you want to lean back under a blanket with a cup of tea, put it on auto, and enjoy it like a movie. But now, here you go. There are 3 hill choose to fight. You finish them in 30 seconds, so you don't get an eventful, engaging break. Rather, a quick annoyance that disturbs the whole flow and rhythm the story tried to build. Add to that the sudden music change and the fact that you have to sit up straight, concentrate, and know exactly what you're doing, only to try and relax and focus a minute later. Genshin wants to have a straightforward, visual novel-style storytelling, but it just can't commit to it, resulting in a mishmash that doesn't work well in either direction. Genshin is also known for its very robust and deep world building, which is a truly fantastic thing. It's insanely interesting to watch some detailed YouTube video breaking it down, but oh, yeah, YouTube video. See the issue? There isn't really a clean, fast way to read up on some of the specific terminology or terms used in the story. This makes it a frustrating experience to, for example, take a long break or just wait for the next Archon quest to drop, and then suddenly get back into understanding everything that's happening. And yes, the abundance of weird terms and names is a problem in itself, because good stories don't need that whole extra fluff to be interesting and meaningful. If you break Genshin's story down, it's a very simple and easy to understand premise with motives of war, friendship, loyalty, loss, and searching for identity. But instead of just letting you experience the raw, powerful emotions associated with them, it throws at you a huge weight of bricks made of confusing terms to slow down and cloud your understanding. But okay, we know Genshin won't change this, so let's instead try to come up with a solution to make it more accessible without rewriting the entire thing. And the clue to that is an easy accessible dictionary, like the one built into Chaos Head, a game I reviewed recently. Whenever a new term appears there, you get a small pop-up inviting you to this page. Here you get clean, simple information explaining exactly what it talks about. It makes it easy and fun to read up everything without feeling lost or confused, or the need to look up on external sites. Just imagine doing a quest and someone suddenly name drops the Abyss, for example, and you get a small pop-up, which you can completely ignore, that takes you to a wiki-style, in-game page explaining what it is clearly. As a really easy solution to a problem that will only get worse as time goes on. My next point is that Genshin is a bit too slow with experimentation. Sure, if we look up at the first quest ever made, it's clear that we progressed a lot, adding new systems per nation, like the court mechanism in Fontaine, or even basic things like flashbacks. but they still could do so much more. Like, let us leave the traveler's side more often, do entire quests when they aren't around, because why not? Players could just skip it if they aren't interested, but the rest of us will get something unique and attention-grabbing. I want Genshin to take more risk, break the standard quest format, that is, introduction, exposition, walking around and talking, quick fight, talking again, and finish. Add more weird puzzles or entire systems. I'll talk about it more in the next sections, but really, let us choose, really choose. Give us branching storylines that don't have to have widely different outcomes or consequences, as I get that the gacha game needs to return to its status quo eventually. But let us see different seeds of details. What I want to see in Genshin Quest is surprise, something new. Make the game fresh again. Another thing is NPCs. I have to say at the start that they were once done greatly, with interesting designs or stories that evolve and progress. But what I hate is seeing guy who needs help number 5 that we walk up to, talk to for 5 minutes, fetch some materials for, and then never hear from again. We have such a strong and colorful cast of playable characters. Why not use them more? And get rid of those redundant ones that are here just to be a checkbox to hide off. We see it a lot in Natal. 3 warriors go crazy and need our help, so we spend 10 minutes getting to know their very basic and short story, which we don't really care for. While the characters act like they knew this game from childhood and care deeply about him. And I mean, they probably did, but we don't care. We, as a player, didn't spend any time with them, so why we should be concerned or worried? They just a pretext to let the main cast do the talking over them. So at this point, why not replace the 3 bland, paper-like NPCs with one playable character that we really do care about? It usually still resolves itself quickly, and everyone lives happily ever after. So why not? And from my last point, choices. They don't exist in Genshin, so why are they even here? Right, we can get one different line if we click something out, but even so, there's usually one option that is funnier / more interesting than the other, and will be picked by the majority. So, at this point, why not just make it the default? I come back to the point that Genshin wants to be a smooth, straightforward visual novel that comes from point A to point B. And that is fine, but the choices break the flow needlessly, stop the auto function, make you sit up straight again, and click for something absolutely meaningless. I say, either get rid of it, or give us true branching paths. We often see a setup like this. A group of 3 characters goes to go fighting, while the other 3 characters go do some intel. And we, as default, get assigned to the fighting group. But why not let us choose? The outcome will be the same at the end of the quest, but I had some agency. I read about something I care more about, and I had a different experience than my friend. That's all there is of choice in games. We don't need the player's actual agency to derail the story completely, but give them an illusion of choice, looking at the end, still leaves them more satisfied and engaged than if you had no choice at all. So, to wrap this video, I want to say that I really love Genshin and the characters. I've been playing for over 4 years already, and I want the game to do better. That's why I'm making this video, to offer some suggestions and showcase things I want to be improved. I hope you took something interesting from this, and I hope we'll see each other in the next upload. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. See ya!